Hi everyone, it's Andrea Graham from the Leaf Heart Path. Today's pick a card reading is all about celebrating you. We'll be examining how you see yourself, how other people see you, and note how these don't always match up. And then specific celebrations in your emotional life, physical life, and spiritual life. Finally, we will take a peek at what you need to embrace about yourself. So while we're here, take a deep breath and cast your gaze over the piles that you see here. There are crystals for those of you who like to choose with them. Pile 1 is represented by Hematite. Is that one cute? Did cute little guys this time. We have an Agate for pile 2. Pile 3, Kambaba, Jasper, or Crocodile Stone. That is so cool. Pile 4, Tiger Iron. There's some of the yellow. Okay. So pause the video if you need a little more time selecting your pile, and I'll see you over in your reading. Bye-bye. Hi, Group 1. If you picked this little baby hematite, then this is your reading. So welcome to the reading on celebrating you. If you skip the intro, we've got 6 cards today that we're going to be looking at, and each card addresses an aspect to consider on why you should look at yourself through a lens of self-love, acceptance, and celebration. So let's take a look at yours. Card 1 is going to be how you see yourself. Card 2 is how other people see you. Scooch that over there. Card 3, 4, and 5, these 3 cards are about specific aspects of your life to celebrate. So card 3, we'll be looking at your emotional life. Card 4 is your physical life. We're going to have to share space today, friends. There we go. Card 5 is your spiritual life. And finally, card 6 is something that you need to embrace about yourself. It's the card that shows you how truly sparkly and shiny you are. Just a little extra cherry on top. Okay, let's get into it. So, card 1, how you see yourself, pull that down a little bit, is the 10 of Wands, Group 1. There it is. Okay. So this is the energy of someone who is an incredibly hard worker. I know wands are Aries, Leo, and Sag, but every time I see this, I think of Capricorn bosses just pushing away, chipping away at their work, a total workaholic, juggling 17 things at once and still somehow keeping all the balls in the air. You may be one of those signs, you may not be. You may simply see yourself as a hard worker. Group 1, someone who has their nose to the grindstone and is in that hustle energy, but perhaps right now, not so much in the flow that follows, because this is now you pushing yourself so much that you are reaching the point of exhaustion and burnout. So if this isn't resonating for you yet, you may want to check, as this part's kind of an energy check, you may want to pop over into another pile. But for those of you that sounds familiar, stick around. When I look at this, I notice, in particular, I love this deck. We're in the desert here, right? And I think that you not only just carry this pushing energy, not just in work, but also to other areas of your life. It doesn't feel like pushing, but punishing almost, Group 1. I'm hearing the song "Working in the Coal Mine" by Lee Dorsey. Check that recording out if you don't know what I'm talking about. It really is an anthem for 10 of Wands energy. So this can also just be about where you currently see yourself in life. You may have 17 things going on in each and every day, and you still go home and you cook a great dinner. We all have those times where it feels like there's no end in sight to the daily grind, but right now this does feel a bit extended for you, Group 1. I could easily see this as a person here who is trying to get to the other side of the road. Like, why did the chicken cross the road? And what they're going to be doing is sharing everything they have going on with anyone who lives in the neighborhood over here. So, for example, you may have a friend group where you guys get together, and when it's your turn to host, everything needs to be just so. You have a barbecue, you have a party, maybe it's like a kid's birthday party, and it needs to be Pinterest perfection for you. You'd be the one that not only decides to have a band to this kid's party with the bouncy castle and everything else, but also, you know what, you're gonna build the entire stage yourself with this wood, and then it's gonna turn into a music festival in your backyard or nearby park, and you won't charge admission just because you're an awesome person, or you would and you'd give it all to charity or something like that. And this isn't necessarily, you're not doing this necessarily because you want to compete with others, although that might resonate with some of you. You know, some of our Aries friends are more fiery friends. I see this more as you wanting to share your offerings and kindness with everyone, spreading the love around. You may also be overly worried, I'm getting, about other people's opinions of you. Like all these eyes are looking at you in the houses across the road. So you may feel that you have to, keep up with everybody else. However, this can also be super independent energy, even isolating at times. You may enjoy figuring things out on your own, puzzling things out with your big, beautiful brain. Or you may turn down offers of help because you don't want this burden to be on anybody else. So keep in mind, this is how you may currently view yourself, or the energy that is currently being held, what you might be feeling right now, where you're at. You may be holding multiple jobs. You may have been told you have a terrific work ethic. I am stumbling over my words today. That may have been praise that you heard your whole life. You work really hard. You have a great work ethic. You're results oriented. Achievement's important to you. And so you keep moving forward with these kinds of praises. It may be just something that you are kind of conditioned to. So the thing is, Group 1, when we're shouldering all of these responsibilities and burdens, it blocks us from allowing others in, whether to help or just to connect with us, because we end up with this tunnel vision. There's no way that this person can see through everything here. Their head is down even, looking kind of on this angle. So it's time to celebrate not just the hard worker you are, but also to see what else is going on in your life that's a beautiful reflection of you. Lay down the burdens, let other folks in. I feel like they're lined up to help you here, and book a massage. I bet, Group 1, if you're watching this right now, you are probably not lying down. And if you are, you need to turn off this video right now and go to bed. All right. So that may be the energy you're in right now. This is the energy of how other people see you. So Knight of Cups. This is really interesting. We're going from spicy dry here, and then we've got all water here, emotions. So this is really sweet. People around you think you are incredibly kind. Perhaps a bit of a romantic, an emotionally fulfilled person. Somebody who doesn't hesitate to rush in and lend a helping hand when things might be tough. They may recognize this is going on here, but that's not where their focus lies, Group 1. They see someone who is generous with their time, their talent, and their heart. Aw. So while you may have this feeling of being a bit walled off, blocked off, just tired right now, holding back because of your current energy or how you hold yourself, that's really not the way that you are presenting to others. So that's a treasure. That's something to celebrate. You treat others like royalty, particularly friends and perhaps even coworkers for some of you. I'm getting it's more in that vibe and maybe not so much to do with family. even if, and that's not to say that you're not treating your family well. I feel like that's where a lot of this hard work is coming in. Even if they see what's up with your frenetic energy over here, they know you're loyal. They know that you are somebody that they can count on. You are present. Just look at the eye contact that's happening here. Right? You're loving. You're very open. So here this is closed off to me. This is the energy of somebody who's very open. Even the hat's off. That's transparency to me. You would stop what you're doing to make time for others when they need it. Absolutely. This may play into some of that people-pleasing energy that we kind of hinted at over here. There's a flavor of that for some of you. So you want to be careful that you're not spreading yourself too thin here. So the Knight of Cups represents water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and water here is the perfect quenching drink when you are, I know this drives people crazy sometimes when I just touch the cards. Yeah, it's this drink that is going to help you when you've been parched from spending all day in the desert, sweating, toiling away. And the people in your life see you as having more of a balance to you than perhaps you recognize. Even if you are working all the time, group one, that's not who they see in front of them. They see someone who is truly kind, considerate, and a generous human being. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. Even if you're feeling a little hard on yourself right now, maybe it's time to kind of put this down and take on this new lens, because that is truly something to celebrate there. All right, so card 3, it's itty bitty card here, is your emotional world. And this doesn't mean your emotional world's itty bitty. Okay, so that literally is the world. This Major Arcana card basically encompasses all the signs of the zodiac. So at this point, we're talking about everybody and anybody, if that means anything to you. So with this is, gifts in your emotional life. That whether or not you're able to see the forest for the trees over here in this energy, your emotional life is very, very rich. You have a lot that is really good going on for you right now, group one. And it could be that this present workaholic energy is just a blip in the road. That you will be moving on from this energy. And we are walking here. There's a horse here. We're ready to move. You will be moving on from this energy to an energy that is more balanced. And again, we have that balance between, oh, I just shook everything. Pardon me. There is that balance between fire and water over here. So this can serve as a reminder, especially for those of you who live in a state where you are constantly juggling things, that this too shall pass. There will be a time where things calm down. That's going to drive me crazy. And you can enjoy what you've created around you. Yeah, I'm hearing the phrase, stop and smell the roses. Which tells me that you may want to consider scheduling in, especially for Virgo friends. I know you like your schedules. You might want to schedule in your time to relax. And that's just the way sometimes it has to be. And relaxing can look like a lot of different things to all the different people watching this. This could be a nudge from your spirit team to slow down a little bit, if it is at all possible, and enjoy what is around you. And to me, whenever I see something around like this, I do think of cycles. On the Rider-Waite deck, there's a figure of a woman in the middle of the World card. And around her, I think it's a wreath, but I always think of it as, the Ouroboros? Just the snake eating its tail. What goes around comes around. While things may be a little hot right now, there is a fullness and a richness to what you do have right here. This is what we're celebrating. There's an abundance, and it's a matter of stopping to tap into that. So this may be about recognizing all the beauty that's around you when it comes to the people in your life. as this is really about emotions. This is about the joy that's cultivated in these particular relationships. And now I'm seeing that little hole we made in our schedule, right? And things are just trying to flow into it. Just to make sure, group one, that what goes in are activities that are more restful and rejuvenating for you. They connect you with the joy of other people's company, because this is a treasure trove for you. This is what is under the desert. Truly, we take one of these sticks and we're going to slam it down, and whoosh, a geyser of hidden emotional health and wellness and happiness just bursts forth. And that's what's filling up our cups here. Yeah. Support and joy and love that you feel for others is there, and they absolutely feel that for you. That's your wellspring. It's at your fingertips. And there is so much magic in your emotional world, group one. All right. We're going to move on to card 4. And as we said, this is representing what to celebrate in your physical world. Oh my gosh. So we have another Major Arcana card. This is number 10. Interesting. 10. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And so, again, we do have this, again, another circle that's happening here. Second Major Arcana card. 10 might be an important number to you. Group 1. It may also represent the end of a cycle. And because it's mirroring this 10 of Wands here as well, which is right underneath, yeah, I'm really getting that things are probably quite cyclical for you in everything you do, right? So you probably have periods of time where you feel like you're on top of the world. We're sitting up here, and your health is good. You're feeling comfortable in your body. You feel abundant in what you have. You're happy with what's around you. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about your physical life. It's really just about recognizing that we are spiritual beings and that we are grounded into this physical reality right now, and accepting that. And there might be times where you're happy with that, and then there's times where you're at the bottom of the wheel. You're struggling, you're wanting more. You may be feeling like you need to achieve more, do more, be more. Oh, you know what? I'm wondering too if that's not a connection back here, especially in these moments where we feel lack. We're doing things, extra things to compensate because we're down here. We're not feeling so good. And so we're pushing. Yeah. It may not even be about what's physical, like your body, your home, being grounded in the moment, your possessions. It's about not seeing and not appreciating, that world wellspring of emotion we talked about, and therefore you push to make up for it. There's this lack here, and you might see that reflected across a variety of facets of your life, many different realms, many different areas. So something to remember just for that is just what goes up must come down again. So it's natural to go through periods of stagnation and loss and rebirth, and then new growth as well. So just, this is a reminder, roll with the punches as much as you can. If you are more down on yourself right now, not feeling like things are in place in the way that you wish, this is a reminder that it will pass, right? The Wheel of Fortune reminds us to be more fluid, more flexible, have a little more flow, like we probably didn't have here. Everything has got this ebb and flow, and it's easier to appreciate what we do have from a bird's eye view. And with that comes the ability to see all that you've worked hard for and that you have achieved. So right now, you could be on the bottom part of the wheel, or you might be up on that top part of the wheel. It's really, your guides are stressing the importance of that bird's eye view, pulling back and looking at it from the bigger picture. It's normal, embrace it. It's okay. Because you got a lot of good stuff going on here. Yeah, and the other thing to do, the other bit of advice we're getting here to kind of lean into the celebration a little bit, especially if you're having a tougher time, is getting back to this here. Tend to your emotional needs in the garden of the world. There is much satisfaction, happiness and celebration that comes from this enriching aspect of our lives. It's not what you get at the carnival. We're on our Ferris wheel here. It's not what you win. It's how much did you enjoy the experience, you know, and who's by your side. Enjoy the ride, Group 1, because you have some amazing friends and people in your life. True treasure. So card 5 is about your spiritual life. Oh my. Okay. Well, this is a little unusual. Another repeat. This was happening a lot in last week's stuff too. So there's some pretty strong energy here that's going on. Look at this and the way it's lining up right now, like in the camera. Boop, boop, boop. It's tic-tac-toe. They want you to think about cycles right now and circles. So yeah, this is you being at the end of what could be many different cycles and different areas of your life. This is about you leveling up, reaching a pinnacle, and different achievements, enjoyment. Possibly learning too. You might be learning some new spiritual things. Could be all of the above. And then, you know, you're moving on to the next thing. Maybe taking a rest. So now we have 10, 20, 30 here. I used to teach kindergarten, so I'm counting by tens. Got to get it in. Going off the number 10, spirituality may be something that is very important to you. I'm thinking, as you know, as well as the physicality we had over here. And I guess we could say, yeah, the same thing there. And something I didn't talk about actually was over here was finding a way to enjoy your physicalness. Because I'm seeing right now hiking or walking outside for some of you. So I just had to slip that in there. That may help kind of get things flowing a little bit more for you. Yeah, this could indicate an increased period of health for some of you. So, you know, that same leveling up we're talking about here could be happening over here as well. So both in physical life and spiritual life, we've got you on this wheel. And the idea of things being transitory in nature, we're thinking in terms of cycles. You are learning something new, leveling up, exploring a new facet of that part of your life, which can be very exciting. It may be very rich and intense in these areas of your life right now, which may play into that heavy feeling over here, like cloying is almost what I'm getting. Ugh, it's too much. Yeah. So maybe just there's a lot going on here. This is just joy and happiness, but this is kind of like, whoop, you know, we're kind of wanting to move from this to get over here. So for card 5, this news cycle could be about some of you exploring use of your psychic senses, learning to be more in touch with your intuition. It could be about exploring different religions, learning about them, checking out services in your area. And again, this can also show there's an ebb and flow to your interests or actions in this particular sector. It's okay that things wax and wane like the moon going through its cycles. It's natural. You will go through phases with this, and it's nothing to beat yourself up about, especially if you are in a bit of a dry spell and not as active as you'd like to be, either spiritually or with a church or another facet of worship. Sometimes we get so busy, it's a period of months where we can't even look at something, and that's okay, because that's time that our soul needs to rest. That's absolutely okay. And then you'll come back to it, and you'll have found that you have some new insight, perhaps new courage. You're willing to try something new. So I really think that Group 1, this is reminding you that there is much richness to be found when you pull back and look at the big picture again. Even if you are somebody who doesn't think about spirituality, religion, the afterlife, the Wheel of Fortune shows there has been an exploration on your part. There has been learning on your part over the course of your entire life, even if you can't think of any specific examples right now. You will be entering a new phase as soon as you're ready, and you can step forward and embrace that at any juncture. Get on that ride, and you will be welcomed with open arms. Yeah, there is so much to celebrate, and like that physical realm card over here, I still am being pulled back to the world here for both of these. The idea of emotional richness across these other facets of life. It's there waiting for you if you haven't already begun to dig down and unearth it. Things will always be ready and waiting for you, Group 1, in your emotional life, your physical life, and your spiritual life, which is just really beautiful. Yeah, we can dive into things as soon as we're ready to. So, our outcome, friends. Card number 6 is what you should embrace, your sweet outcome. It's the card that shows you how sparkly and shiny, and how sweet you are. You are the thickest. So, group 1, you remember how the Knight of Cups is how your friends see you? And how the 2 wheels of fortune here and the world card illustrate how much you're leveling up in all areas of your life right now. And all these areas clearly show how awesome you truly are. And if you're still over here and you got the blinders on and you're not convinced, maybe the idea that you are the thickest strawberry milkshake is enough. So this is, to me, the 9 of Cups in traditional tarot. We have another high number in a cycle, the number 9. Wait, let me go back to my numbers. What? 10, 20, 30, 9, 21, makes another 30. So we're all circling around this. See, there's a lot of truth in the way your friends see you. So, yeah, you're at 9. This means almost there. You've worked really hard. Your efforts are paying off across the board, and you have a lot to celebrate. This is wish fulfillment here at its finest. You know, and is it just me? Probably not. But I also think milkshakes are better shared with friends, right? I remember being a kid and going to a local restaurant with my teenage friends, and we just would go for the cookies they had and the milkshake. Oh my gosh, and I'm thinking of, what's that Daniel Day-Lewis movie, There Will Be Blood, where he's screaming, "I drink your milkshake." So even Daniel Day-Lewis wants to drink your milkshake. You're pretty awesome, group 1. So I see the sweetness of the milkshake as the energy here of the Knight of Cups, really. Yeah, you come out. Show yourself. There we go. You know, plus we're looking at the whole wide world here from this view. We've got earth, we've got air, we have got the water, and we have got the energy, the fiery energy of the sun. You know, so to me this is pulling in all the elements that we have from the world cards. Wheel of Fortune's another one that people talk about having all of the elements in as well. I just was doing bird hands here. So this card shows that you have what you are looking for. It's there. You may have to come out from behind your bundle of wands in order to see it. The glass, to me, is what you've been looking to fill up. You maybe see it as empty, but it's already full. You know, it's tempered strength, just like the effort of what you put into everything you do. So remember, group 1, that you bring the sweetness to life. You have abundance to share, and there are many blessings all around you. And you are the thickest. Yeah. So I think people really do see you, group 1, as completely fulfilled, completely abundant, rich, filled to the brim with goodness, meant to be shared. So this is truly a card of celebration, illustrating just how rich your life is, how full your life is, and all the treasure that is your heart, which you freely share with others. So life's a dessert, group 1. So I'm going to end your reading here, and if this resonated with you, you found it entertaining or beneficial, please consider hitting the like button and let me know what really resonated for you in the comment box below. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other pick a card readings and consider subscribing to my channel. Be sure to hit the bell so you're notified when new videos are released. It was a pleasure working with you, group 1, and I look forward to collaborating with you again in the near future. See you soon. Hi, pile 2. If you picked this little agate buddy. Ooh, look at those stripes. Then this is your reading. Okay, so this is a reading on celebrating you. And if you skip the intro, we've got 6 cards we're going to be looking at. Each card addresses an aspect to consider on why you should look at yourself through a lens of self-love, acceptance, and celebration. So let's take a look at what we have here today. This is card number 1. This is how you currently see yourself, or the energy that you're currently holding, the one that's the most dominant. Card 2 is about how others see you. Now cards 3 through 5 are about specific aspects of your life to celebrate. So this one here is your emotional life, and card 4 is your physical, and card 5 is your spiritual life. And finally, card 6 is something you need to embrace about you. It is the card that shows you how truly sparkly and shiny and magical you are. It's our happy little outcome. So let's get into it. We'll start with our first card, pile 2, group 2. How you see yourself is the 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, can you hear it raining? That's really loud, I feel like. So 10 of Cups. This is awesome. All right. So the card that represents how you see yourself is a beautiful energy to see yourself in. This shows that you have an abundance of love, that you see the wealth in your companionship, the treasure in your family. This really is a card of true contentment, group 2. This is being happy about where you live and who you are sharing that space with. This is somebody who has really an attitude of gratitude and makes that gratitude a part of their daily lives, a part of daily practice. So group 2, you may be very happy about the city or the space in which you live. Again, it doesn't really have to be urban. You can be absolutely thrilled with living in a rural space as well. The suburbs, it applies to everybody. Maybe you don't even have a traditional home. You might be somebody who is kind of one of those, what are you, like digital nomad? You wander, van life. But where you go, I feel like you do have strong ties. It doesn't matter where you land. So you may serve on committees, you're tied to the community, you look for ways to better your living space. You truly do care about your neighbors, the overall health of the area in which you live. This can extend to taking care of the land and Mother Nature as well. Oftentimes, this card represents the end of the rainbow. It's the treasure that lies there. This is what many people spend their lives searching for. So it's pretty incredible to meet somebody who already sees themselves in that space, is very truly others-oriented. So if you clicked on this pile and this energy check doesn't sound like you, then you may want to check back in with another group. This is a very happy, joyous, and connected, a very distinct energy to have. Beautiful. Yeah, and again, it's really, I'm not getting this as an inward sense either. Yes, this can be how you view yourself, but it's how you view yourself in the context of everywhere else, everyone else, how you're living. So it is truly a measure of somebody who's others oriented. When you look in the mirror, you see all of this. All right. And it could be a particular area too, I'm getting. If you live in more than one place, there might be a spot that you're more fond of. So let's get into how others see you. Our second card here. Interesting. So this is 2 of Wands. All right. So we've got fiery energy here, Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, we should mention back here, this is Cups, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, balancing each other out. We've got a little yin and yang happening here. Ooh, there's a lot to look at on this one. So this again is how other folks see you. They may see somebody who always has a bigger picture view in mind. And that supports this kind of grand vision we're getting over here, this open sky. Yeah, an idea of connectedness, an idea of community, building the start of a foundation, as we've got 2 wands there. So, well, this 10 of Cups, is having that emotional fulfillment. This, and the watery stuff we talked about, this is the fire side of it. This is the balance to it. Yeah, and so your friends and community members and family may see you as somebody who has big plans and the ambition to see them through to fulfillment. These 2 cards together may speak to the quality of being comfortable in your own skin, and that points you towards sitting on the throne of your own heart. Or they highlight that, they emphasize that you're at home there, you have sovereignty inside yourself, you're very comfortable. Knowing home is wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you're traveling and where you're going in the world. Home is wherever you are. And while this emphasizes how much you clearly love your community, this indicates that your folks around you may see you as a bit of a nomad, a wanderer, somebody who really likes to travel. And I am picking up a bit of a quirky personality, group 2. As this is a general reading, this will apply to part of this group. Obviously not all, so again, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Yeah, there's a bit of funkiness with you, a bit of sparkliness, almost a pixie-like quality, a little mischievous. You might have a sense of humor where you tease a little bit, maybe sometimes get into trouble for that. I feel like elementals would really dig you. Definitely. You may be, again, somebody who spends a lot of time outside, or you, again, might live the van life. You might be somebody who travels from place to place and is perfectly content checking out different areas of the country, how other people live. So we're talking a lot about action, and whatever the action here is, that really matters less, though, than the perception of you, which is what this card placement is about. I think you are a little intoxicating to others, group 2. There may be a little bit of a restless energy to you, and I really feel that people are fascinated or very interested in what you have to say, whether you recognize it or not. You may be a bit of a dreamer. I really do feel you capture other people's attention, group 2. There's a magnetism to you. Very intriguing. It's sort of like you have one of those conversations and you meet somebody, you can't quite shake it, but you keep revisiting. Even if at first that person seems one way, there's something underneath that there's a contrast. Just like these two are, opposing elements. There's a contrast to you that makes people want to dig in and get to know you a little bit more. People are thinking about you when you walk away. All right. So let's move on to your emotional life. Your emotional life is very nice. The 9 of Pentacles. Great, great, great. So, with this 9 of Pentacles, it's a higher number, and so it's almost a completeness of a journey, like the 10 we have here, or you're almost reaching a certain goal. To me, in terms of your emotional life, this shows a reflection and a deep understanding of your emotional inner workings. It's very possible that you also have been working hard on yourself, whatever that looks like for you. Digging in, journaling, therapy, talking to friends. It's going to be different for everybody. This also shows many blessings and a richness that others may not have the opportunity to experience. That's a true treasure. This card illustrates somebody who is very in touch with their emotions and the emotions of other people. We can see that over here as well. So that's cool because you recognize that in yourself. You're celebrating that in yourself as well, which is unusual because oftentimes when we get these cards over here, people who are seeking out help sometimes or looking at these readings. A lot of times it's out of interest, but sometimes there's a bit of a negative self-concept there. But this is knowing your own worth. This is knowing a beautiful gift about yourself. So this is very unique. There truly is an abundance of richness that's happening. I do think you're somebody who may require a bit of alone time to recharge your batteries, but you are absolutely ready and willing to connect joyfully with others when you're in the right mindset. You enjoy a good time, but you also have a rich inner world that doesn't require other people to fill up your cup. You take care of your own stuff. This shows a really deep maturity, group 2, as not many people are comfortable with that, understanding that, or being alone, because being alone requires comfort with yourself and your emotions, which you clearly have because we're at the 9 here. So Pentacles here are earth signs, so now we're just basically covering almost everybody here. But this to me has deep Taurian energy, and it's highlighting this sumptuousness. It's this beauty that's often represented in Taurus energy, and not everybody may agree with that, but this is how it's being presented within this group. There is something that is just rich and beautiful, elegant, and you just being comfortable with who you are and where you are. And that is true treasure right there. That is something worth celebrating, group 2. So let's check out the riches and the celebrations to be had in your physical life. Ha! 10, 10. That actually happened in the last one as well, where we had 10 in the exact same positions underneath the number 10 again. So a lot of high numbers happening here, folks. In your physical life, wait, I want to link these guys together a little here. Yeah, this goes back, I think I mentioned it before, but this to me was physicality can mean a lot of different things. And when I'm talking about physical life, it can mean the place you're in, it can mean your possessions, your home, it can mean your health, your body, but most of all, are you grounded as a spiritual being in this physical incarnation? Are you accepting of where you are right now? That's where the treasure lies. So here, when I see this 10, this truly does make me think that the people who are part of this card, the community where you are, they're just so very happy. And this is a place you probably have some roots in. So I think that this is, I mentioned it, it possibly might be even another place. It could be, maybe you have a favorite vacation spot that you like to go to, and you might feel extra drawn to that community. There's something there. But it can also be just the place you live. So there's a richness, like you're able to recognize the beauty in everything that is around you in that particular place. Yeah. So it's a lot to do, I think, with the spot that you're at. Yeah. And so this 10 can also symbolize major shift and growth that has to do with some aspect of your physical life as well. So you may be somebody who's been on a path of trying to better yourself. So it could be your physical vessel. It could be that you're taking yourself to the gym, although I think taking a walk outside feels a little more natural to me for you guys since we've got a lot of outside stuff going on. Yeah. None of this feels like, gym to me feels claustrophobic. This is all very open energy. So this can also be you taking care of yourself, getting body work done. Look at our rainbow here, our rainbow here. Moving energy out. Massage, acupuncture, cranial sacral work, Reiki. Accepting who you are and where you currently are at in your physicality. Even if you're not somebody who's incredibly physically fit, it's not about that. It's just, it's the acceptance and the love that you can shower yourself with. You're happy with your physicality. Some of you may have recently begun to eat to nourish the vessel you're in instead of choosing less healthy options for sustenance. This is you taking care of yourself to ensure that you are enjoying your time and able to make the most of your time with others in the future. A bit of a legacy. It really feels like an overall glow up. Not just concerning your appearance, but something has shifted inside of you or is on the cusp of happening where you are completely at ease with yourself and where you are in your physicality. And if this doesn't feel like something that has happened for you yet, you again may be on the verge of this happening in your physical life. So group 2, I really feel there are many blessings to come for a long time regarding this sector of your world. Okay, so let's get on to your spiritual life. Oh, Major Arcana. And that's our first one. Okay, cool. I like this. This is the Chariot. It's very much about forward momentum, high energy, and balance. So typically, too, we see somebody in the Rider-Waite tradition who is pretty stern. They don't look like they're having much fun as they're riding their horse into town, and there's a duality there. We've got total mastery over like emotions and ambition. Right and left hemispheres of the brain are engaged. We're holding onto the reins, but I like this because this figure has their hands in the air. This to me shows a confidence, a freedom, and just absolute fun. So it's not the same kind of that rigid control that I would normally pick up when I see the Chariot in a typical deck. I'm trying to see what that is. If it's a little imperfection. Maybe there's some dog drool right there. I don't know, that dried. This suggests to me that part of your spiritual journey may involve getting very comfortable with your own beliefs and not letting other people's opinions influence you. Like, it almost looks like we're escaping here to get away from that. So it's a solitary journey, a personal journey. It's private. While parts of this journey may involve working with other people, it's about finding your own North Star, tapping into your inner compass that reflects a need for introspective and alone time. This is about your belief systems, establishing what they are, refining schema that perhaps once felt very rooted to the ground, and part of your spiritual practice or belief system. And instead, I'm seeing you processing and transmuting these energies and clearing them out of your auric field. And it's almost effortless, group 2. Things that once were impossible for you or seemed impossible are now easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You've gotten your sea legs as we're flying over the desert. When I speak about spiritual life, this can also involve traditional religion as well. It might mean you finally find a home for your beliefs and you find a place of worship or a church group that you feel really comfortable in. And if other people bother you about your beliefs, I feel you're able to naturally deflect their comments and let things go. We're letting go here. And I think that's part of the transmuting energies feeling that came up earlier, what I was seeing with that. You may actually just stop people from coming up to you with their own agendas and comments because you just radiate such confidence and joy, and it makes people stop in their tracks. And because this is a major arcana card, group 2, I do feel this is an important part of your life path, the spiritual realm. It's very exciting. Yeah. I'd be curious about your thoughts on that and what that means to you, the spiritual side of your life. Okay, last but not least, we have got card number 6, which is our happy outcome. Something that you need to see about yourself, embrace about yourself. The card that shows you how truly sparkly and shiny you are. The King of Drinks. Cups. King of Cups. So, you started with our 10 of Cups over here, group 2, and you've skipped over all the court cards, look at you, and you went straight to the top, which I'm assuming this is coffee. Coffee is a nice way to start your day, or maybe you drink coffee all day long. That's also acceptable. And the King of Cups shows someone who is truly in touch with their emotions, their values are in alignment, and just things are good. Things are good, group 2. Got that crown on. So King of Cups energy is somebody who's wise. They can sit in an energy of diplomacy and non-judgment. And really, I mean, you wouldn't have what's happening here if you didn't embody these characteristics. They know how to use their heart. They know how to use their head. There's a balance there. We were talking about balance here earlier. The water and the fire. Yeah, this is also about creativity, which we can get a little bit of here, which we can get right here. And intuition. Yeah, and that can be a hint back to the Chariot card, which popped up here with your spiritual life. So, because we have a crown here, that intuition, again, may be an important part of your spiritual life. So this group 2 really indicates that you have a balance to your emotions. You've got a deeper knowledge of yourself, and you strike me as being very introspective. And so I feel that all of these cards would not be a surprise to you. Group 2. Not at all. These energies are things that have been at play in your energy field or through events in your life, and I do feel you're aware of this, especially because you were able to pick up on that. Yeah, this is the energy and understanding that only a high court card person can bring. I don't know if you hear my dog sniffing at the door. He's trying to get in. So group 2, if that's not a cause for celebration, then I think you need to go pour yourself a cup of coffee and put on your little Burger King crown, and you need to celebrate. So I am going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, you found it entertaining or beneficial, please consider hitting the like button. Let me know what really resonated for you in the comment box below, and if you enjoyed this video, check out my other pick-a-card readings and consider subscribing to my channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are released. And it was a pleasure working with you, group 2, and I look forward to collaborating with you again in the near future. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, group 3. If you picked the Kambaba Jasper or Crocodile Stone, then this is your reading. So this reading is about celebrating you today. Now, if you skip the intro, we have 6 different cards that we're going to be working with today. And each card addresses an aspect to consider on why you should look at yourself through a lens of self-love. Nope, you're going to go over here. Acceptance and celebration. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. Card 1 is going to be how you view yourself. It's also an energy check. So as you're participating today and engaging, if this sounds like you, then you know you're in the right spot. Card 2 is going to be how others currently see you. And cards 3 through 5 are a little bit different. They're going to be about specific aspects of your life that you can celebrate. So we have your emotional life, your physical life, and your spiritual life. And then finally, card 6 is your outcome. It's something that you need to embrace about yourself. It's the card that shows how truly sparkly and shiny that you are. All right, so let's get into it. Card 1, how you see yourself, is the Page of Wands. This is interesting. Okay, so there are some unique energies that are coming in here that makes this a little bit different from groups 1 and 2 already. There's almost a dichotomy that I'm getting here, like two sides of the same coin, opposite faces. Yeah. It's like I've got one group of people that are looking at the issue from this way and one coming from this way, but it's from a different perspective in time. It's actually about time. So maybe older folks, and folks that are quite a bit younger or new at something, and that's where that page energy typically is sitting. So again, this can be a multi-age group that is coming in because this is a general reading, and so some parts of this reading may resonate for you, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If it doesn't resonate, take what does, leave the rest. So part of this group, again, I'm thinking is going to be very young, at the phase where you're just embarking on a new cycle, a new journey, a new adventure in your life. Or on the flip side, we have got some folks that are older, but they maintain a youthful vibe. That's where this energy is coming from. And I'm also getting that this may be you looking at a snapshot of your past self. Almost like this is a photograph, right? So you may be somebody who is a little bit older, just I'm saying like not in your 20s, and is reflecting on choices that you have made, adventures that you've had in your life in general. And for some of you, age and experience isn't at the forefront of your mind right now. It can just be that you're starting a new endeavor that makes you feel young at heart, or reminds you that you are still learning and have many miles to go in your journey. Just got to walk in shoes on, right? So in either instance, I do feel there is an optimism here and a focus, as we can see right here, and there is a determination. She's our flag carrier here. They're a flag carrier. And wands are the seeds of ideas. They live in our heart. They live in our mind. They haven't quite come to fruition yet necessarily. And so you may have a lot of ambition, group 3. You may be ready to move forward with that, whatever it is. Wands can be about creativity, passion, sexuality, newness, discovering your passions, which can happen at any stage of life. So I feel like we are looking at a snapshot of you here as you are in the middle of something. You're ready to go. You may also enjoy being outside, if we're just going to take things really literally, group 3. This person might be out hiking. You might be somebody who spends free time in nature. Nature may refuel your fire, your passion, your batteries. And also you may be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising in your chart. And I'm really getting that you may be in this period of reflection. I'm just really drawn to the expression on their face here. There's contemplation. So even if you are someone who is younger, you may be currently weighing some options, some different availabilities to you, choices that need to be made. I think here you're packing up for your trip and you're getting ready to go. And if you're older, you may be looking back over choices you have made and wondering if those decisions were helpful, or perhaps you'd have done things differently. So even though wands are pretty fiery, group 3, the way I'm reading this and the feeling I'm getting for this group and this energy, it's more contemplative. Yes, there's movement and energy, but there's a lot of thinking that's happening here. I feel like we have some mysteries that we're going to need to unwrap here, folks, just like here. There's like a ribbon there. Yeah, so let's take a look at the other cards and see what we're working with here. This is more of a story, I think, than what I was originally anticipating. So, all right, card 2, how other people see you. This may be how you see yourself or your current energy that you're sitting in, how others see you. Ooh, more fire. The 3 of Wands. I'm just getting in a little closer so you can see some of the details. I don't know if that's supposed to be blonde hair. I think that's gray hair, but we're going to find out. Okay. Oh, I can hear my neighbors talking. I don't know if you guys can, the camera's picking that up or not. Hopefully not. Okay, so to me, I'm actually seeing this as an older person with gray hair. And you can have gray hair and not be older. It's fine. But there's definitely much more of a youthful appearance or younger appearance here, like teens. I'm thinking like late teens, and someone who's a little more old here. Yeah, and the fact that we have a page here implies the start of something versus this person. I'm thinking that's gray hair, but that might just be the way my glasses look. So those of you who are just starting out or who are in the younger crew watching this, you may be feeling new or inexperienced with whatever it is that you're embarking on. But you need to know that isn't how other folks are seeing you, okay? Yeah. If you constantly feel like you're starting over or you can't quite get things right, you'll never catch up to other people, that is not how you present to the world, all right? The message here, I believe, for you is to be kinder to yourself, because there's a lot more goodness that's going on here than you realize. It's great to maintain a youthful hope and optimism. You're only as old as you feel. You don't need to be so hard on yourself. If you are comparing experience and talents, just saying, I'm never going to get there, I'm not going to be where that person is, why am I even starting this? Don't give up before you've even left the ground, right? You have a lot more going on than you're giving yourself credit for. And for those of you who are in the other spectrum, looking back and reflecting on choices you made when you were younger, the way you carry yourself now has such incredible strength and beauty. With this night sky here, the scene that we're looking at, it is truly awe-inspiring, which makes me think others look at you with this lens that you are awe-inspiring. If you feel like you've lost something because of your age, your guides want you to know that you are only just beginning to ripen. This figure here is ready to walk between the torches, right? And embark on a new adventure. There is a wide world out there with plenty of new experiences and new things to try. So this is about you having the momentum to ground those adventures and experiences into reality. You're creating reality here. And having the creativity to do that. We have all that fire energy. So your vision is not limited. If it feels limited, that's because that's a blinder that you're wearing right now. So keep making plans. You are building new foundations for the future. And if we add this one in, that's 4, which is a nice, solid, steady number for foundations. Yeah. Your adventure is not over. You can always begin something new. You can always start something new. It doesn't matter your age. For anyone who's watching, any age. Yeah. And if you're back again over here, if you're someone who's younger and feeling like people overestimate you, or maybe you're just new at something, you might have a bit of an imposter syndrome going on. That can be for anybody. This really couldn't be further from the truth. Your experiences and the richness that you bring to others is beautiful and healing. People do see you as that 3 of Wands figure. You do things that cause other people to marvel, even if you don't see your worth, your strength, or that what you've done is a big deal. And even if you are starting out something new, you're going to have those jitters. That's very natural. But I have a feeling you're able to mask that or hold them in to such a degree that you only project confidence to other people. And I think some of them might even be surprised if they knew you were having those, jitters. So again, for some of group 3, this is again about younger people maybe feeling like imposters, or it could be about older folks reflecting back and thinking perhaps I missed out on things. But I think the overall message for this group, regardless of age, is that you're beautiful, you're incredible, your experiences are amazing, they're valid, and they're meant to be shared with other people. This is a huge celebration. Now, because we have 2 solo figures here, I do see this reading as leaning more toward an inner journey. So group 3, you may be struggling a little bit right now, but I don't know that you're being totally open with the other folks in your life, or maybe honest, not completely transparent about this. And that's fine. Maybe you're somebody who likes to, think things through. But some of you might not even be honest with yourself about this. So this might be, a little nudge from the universe to start taking stock of what's going on inside of you. This definitely is a reflective quality that's happening here for me. And when I look at these two cards together, there is this richness here. And I do feel like, even though I'm talking about this being kind of like a solo or inner journey, I do feel that you probably have had a lot of people around you in your life, at least for a good portion of you watching this. And that doesn't mean you're extroverted, just that you have encountered many souls and you have a wide swath of people to call on as friends, and probably more than you think for some of you. Which, that feeling's almost at odds with what we're seeing here, because this is pretty solitary. But again, to me, this energy definitely feels like a reflection and a need to go inward. This is an inward journey that's happening here, and it's not so much about other folks, and big external changes, big ripples. Okay, so yeah, something to celebrate here, group 3, is just the way that friends see you, family see you, strangers see you, acquaintances, people you work with. Who else can we throw in there? Clients. They see you as a strong person who's very captivating and perhaps even intriguing for some folks. I really do feel you are a treasure, whether you see that all the time or not. And I think some of those folks I just mentioned have a huge gratitude for you being a part of their lives. So what you need to do, folks, is in the sand here, we need to dig through a little bit and make a little space for that energy to flow in. Allow it to fill you up, accept that love, because it's going to help give your energy a big boost that you need right now, or you might want. All right, so let's look at your emotional life. Bloop. Nice. 10 of Cups. So your emotional life is represented by the 10 of Cups, which is just beautiful. This is complete joy, emotional fulfillment. What else? Being happy where you are and with what's around you. With the people in your life. And I find that interesting because there's a lot of richness here, and it does reinforce that idea that you are others-oriented, even if this is kind of like a solo thing that we're talking about right now. So you may have a lot of friends or a lot of people you care about and who care about you. And this again is reinforcing that idea to me that perhaps you aren't being completely transparent with those around you. And yeah, about this possible conflict or struggle that we're seeing here with your perception, or perhaps getting that clear idea about what to do next, your next path, your next adventure, which trails are you going to be going up next. So for some of you, maybe you have reached a goal or some kind of pinnacle. And you're asking yourself, now what? You might have reached the end of a big cycle, as we have the number 10 here. And there may be even like a little bit of a letdown that can happen when we reach a goal. So even if you don't ordinarily reach out to others to have deep conversations about feelings, group 3, I do sense that there is one person for every single teacup here, right? You could absolutely find a load of people who will be authentic, emotionally invested in you and your story, and people who care about you. And I don't think you're going to have to dig deep, group 3, to find comfort, support, and love from others around you. I suspect you may even find it in people you wouldn't ordinarily expect it from. I think you just have a way, you have this magnetism. You have a way of drawing other people in, and there is an honesty about you and a transparency about you that opens others' hearts to you, even if you are kind of keeping some of this on the down low right now. You are very blessed, group 3, with a beautiful support system, no matter your age, no matter what you're going through. And this is just a reminder, you can celebrate that and lean in, okay? So that is beautiful. Let's jump into what's happening in the physical realm. All right, so what represents celebrations in the physical realm here? Interesting. Major Arcana, this is Judgment. This card doesn't come too often in my readings. I'm going to pull that up so you can see that a little better. So, number 20 might be important to you. Or, again, I see that as like we're skipping by tens, you know, cycles, reaching the end of something. Yeah, and because this is Major Arcana, this does indicate to me, and being the Judgment card, that this is a period of reflection that you're currently going through, that you're experiencing, and that it is part of your path. The thoughts that you've been wrestling with for some time are part of your journey, or they're the journey itself. And I think your subsequent change is something that you will remember for some time. So it's big picture thing. So think of this as an important time of reflection while you are changing the props for like the next big scene in the play of your life. That's a little corny, but because this is the physical realm here, this can be talking about what is around you in life. So your possessions, got these fancy gold earrings here, your home, your wealth, your physical body. Yeah, your physical vessel. But I think, to me, when I talk about physicality, I'm talking about the idea that we're spiritual beings having a physical experience on earth. Are you grounded into your body? And how are you creating this experience and the events around you? So the question is, what do you want your physical experience to be here? As this is a period of reflection. So judgment, again, in this physical realm is you taking stock. We're looking into the waters here of where you are, your happiness, your satisfaction, your values, and then, you know, what are your next steps going to be? So I think for those of you who are just starting out, you may be envisioning what you would like to work toward next, okay? So what would bring you maybe security, a feeling of establishment? And some of you who just completed something big, achieved like a bucket list worthy goal, that absolutely could be part of this crew here. There's definitely that energy. You know, what do your next steps look like? Are you going to try to check something else off your list? Are you getting settled back into everyday life to kind of build your security up? Are you feeling a little restless or trapped right now? Because this feels like a need to take an inventory of what really matters to you. For some of you, this might be digging into some things where you are in uncharted waters. And it's asking you to dive deep, be brave. And then for folks who are reminiscing, we talked about the crew maybe like looking back. It is fine to run through the past, but remember to focus on what's in front of you. They're both looking forward to the future. Don't spend too much time tethered to what was done or what you could have achieved if you had only had this, done this, had more of this. No ifs here. This is a period of time to reflect on your values and then what you want next. So the beauty of the Judgment card here for this physical realm, I really believe, is that it is an expansive breath. No matter who you are watching this or which story is unfolding in front of you, and I'm sure there's things I haven't even thought of here, you can choose to reflect on your next steps and take appropriate action. And I do feel, because this is Major Arcana, that the universe is supporting you here. I mean, this could be like a guide of yours, right? Yeah, and it's clearly, this is meant to be empowerment for you. Showing your power to take action. You aren't relying on anybody else to rescue you here or to make a decision regarding your well-being. This reflection's entirely within your power, and you hold the key to the next phases of your physical journey on this planet. So you're being advised here, Group 3, to tap into that fiery creativity and intuition and start enjoying your planning phase, Group 3. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Okay, so let's jump into your spiritual life. Okay. Oh, another major arcana. We have the moon. Interesting, because we were talking about that. We've got like two starry skies on top of each other here. Nice. This almost looks like a crystal. From Bear Butt. Okay. So, this feels appropriate to me for intuition. So this tells me, group 3, that the story that has been unfolding here through these cards is really about you taking the next steps of whatever journey you are on. What's coming up next. You may have some big doubts or fears, or perhaps you feel a bit isolated or even paralyzed, even though there is a lot of support for you. There's magic that you're creating. There's divine timing going on here. And for some of you, and I have to reiterate again, that some of that support can be your guides coming from the other side, so you may not even see it. For some of you, you may be transitioning from something that was more physical, like this, or this, a certain hobby or lifestyle, that's into something that's more mental or spiritual. Given that we have the physical realm's cycle of near completion with the Judgment card here, we're almost to the World, which would be the next card and the last card in the Major Arcana. And now we're confronting fears about sitting still with feelings or with intuition with this Moon card. And so perhaps you're somebody, and I'm supposed to mention mental worries or concerns as well. Fatigue, perhaps. So perhaps you're someone who loves the outdoors or who loves to travel, and you just completed some massive goal, like an Ironman or a marathon or a huge hike or some kind of international trip, and now you have got to spend some time being less of a wanderer and a little more tethered to one place. And so this can refer to building up your nest egg for your next big adventure, or it's just the ending of one phase and then the starting of the next phase. There also may have been an injury and illness or even aging that has left some of you recovering and doubting your ability to achieve what you used to. And as a little share time, group 3, I've been in that situation myself with a chronic illness. And while the change can be insanely challenging, painful, emotional, and debilitating at times, you can come through on the other side and be even happier than you once were. And for me, I'm thinking back, this was about 10 years ago that this happened for me. It was not fun at all. And I never thought in the midst of it that my life could be better and more rich, and that I would be able to tap into a beauty of appreciation and gratitude for things that I used to not even see. Everything for me was hidden. Okay? And so for those of you in that situation, I'm sorry for you, but there is hope. And oftentimes when we're going through something big, we have these epiphanies as the result of the reflection that we're doing. Sometimes we're basically forced to take a break. The universe, the guides, sometimes it's just life. Life hands you, shitty cards sometimes, and you have an epiphany about it. You're sitting there and you're in a timeout and you're reflecting, right? You get to that point where you finally stop fighting. And that first part, that initial phase where you're fighting things a little bit, can be really tough to get around, but you start to embrace things. And when that happens, you do become more spiritual, whether you would call it that or not. You become more open to other people and the richness of life. More light's able to shine through those cracks. So group 3, if you have any fears surrounding whatever this transition is, this is the time to examine them. You have support, and if something feels really, really big, reach out to your people, reach out to your community. And if it's beyond that, try hooking into therapy or support groups if you are able. A lot of therapists do online telemedicine now, so you may not even have to leave your home if you're not feeling up to it. And for those who don't have that, a rich spiritual practice right now, if we're going back just to this literal meaning of the card, or the position of it, this is a gentle nudge from your guides to get started. You know, like you're on the cusp of something here. You know, if you're interested in learning about different religious practices, start researching. If you, look into different church groups in your area. Your intuition is there, and it's waiting for you to unlock the blocks that you may have towards using it. And some of you may have been suppressing diving in further, but you've always suspected that something is there, and this is your message. Just keep going. Yeah. There is just a whole entire other world for you to explore. A lot of depth, a lot of beauty waiting for you to uncover at Group 3. A lot of potential for you. So this is a celebration that's coming through all of this. And finally, our final outcome card here, our big celebration, is the extra firm one. Also, I'm calling this Judgment. So twice. Interesting. So we have 3 major arcana cards down here, and Judgment is repeated twice. Interesting. So without a doubt, Group 3, this whole story that we're seeing here is about you going through a big transformation. You are being reminded to take a step back for that bigger picture view. Big picture view here, right? Yeah, just like we have the Great Wall. Boop, 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 boop. Okay? When we take that step back, there is a distinct and clear path. It's easier to see from above when we are removed. And it is part of our journey to go through cycles where things ebb and they flow. In the seasons, the leaves fall, we hunker down for winter, only to have growth and warmth come spring. And sunny summer days, which take us back to the abundant harvests of the autumn and the fall. So if you're struggling a little bit right now, Group 3, remember that you're headed into an upswing. All right, you have a spirit team ready to work with you on developing whatever goals that you have set. Yeah, for yourself beyond your reflective practice, beyond whatever it is, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, just anything, And just like tofu here can take on the flavor of whatever it is cooked with, there is promise and strength and support and love in whatever you decide to pursue. So pick your flavors, Group 3, pick your dishes, and just know that you are divinely supported. This is your time to make magic, whether in the kitchen or across any realm. All right, so Group 3, I'm going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you or you found it entertaining or beneficial, please consider hitting the like button. Let me know what really resonated for you in the comment box below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out my other pick-a-card readings and consider subscribing to my channel. Be sure to hit the bell so you're notified when new videos are released. As always, it was a pleasure working with you, Group 3, and I look forward to collaborating with you again in the near future. We'll see you soon. Hey, Group 4, if you picked the Tiger Iron, then this is your reading. So today we're talking about celebrating you. And if you skip the intro, we have got 6 cards today that are going to look at different aspects to consider on why you should see yourself through a lens of self-love and acceptance and of celebration. So let's take a look at what we've got here today. So card 1 is going to be an energy check, and just to see how you see yourself at this particular moment. And so it could be an energy that you're currently sitting with. It could also be truly the lens that you see yourself through. And if you're watching and tuned into this part and it seems like this is you, then you've got the right pile. Then our second card is going to be how other people see you. Cards 3 through 5 are a little bit different. They're going to be dealing with specific aspects of what's going on in your life. So we have your emotional life, your physical life, and then your spiritual life as well. And then finally, card 6 is your overall energy, something to embrace about yourself. It's the card that shows how truly sparkly and shiny you are. So let's get into it. All right, card 1 here, friends, is very nice. The 3 of Cups. Okay. So Group 4, if you were feeling a pull to another group, I believe group 2 also had a similarly positive view of themselves. And if that was giving you little vibes, you might want to go and check that one out as well. So right now we're dealing with cups. That's water energy, and that's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio for those of you that are interested in that. So the Three of Cups is a celebration. It's about joy, it's about harmony, friendship, collaboration. You may see yourself as blessed in your friendships, and you likewise, in all likelihood, embrace your own emotional depths as well. You may also have some intuition sprinkled in here that you rely on or use or accept. And so I'm getting the feeling, group 4, that you may have a handful of close friends, or this trio represents many friendships that you do have. I'm also thinking you may spend your time out with other people, and so you may identify as an extrovert, which just would mean that you recharge your batteries with others, as opposed to introverts who, well, that's me. A lot of us like to spend our time alone before we can be present and loving and open, for others. We recharge our batteries on alone. Or you may be what's considered an ambivert, which is, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You're in the middle somewhere. You may like to party a little bit here, and get a kick out of being with others. So your free time, in all likelihood, probably involves being around other people, family, buddies, co-workers. You may actually have a constant stream of people that are coming in and out of your home or living space. Yeah, your neighbors might even notice that. Oh, that's the house, this is where so-and-so lives. So yeah, they've got all these people coming in and out. You may also travel with friends. And I think, what are these, like tents over here, maybe? I might be at a festival. You might also travel to see different friend groups in different areas of the United States. I don't know why I said United States. I mean, you could be anywhere watching this, so not just the U.S. You may be equally happy in rural destinations as you are in areas that are more urban. As long as you have your people with you, then you're good, you're solid. This can also indicate toasting a success after hard work is paid off. So perhaps you just wrapped up a challenging period in, your work life, or maybe you completed something together. You achieved some kind of goal as a group. This, to me, when I see the Three of Cups, is just a communion, a get-together. It could be camping, barbecues, enjoying the outdoors, or enjoying time together inside. Worries do not have a place in the realm of the Three of Cups. They've been dropped at the door. This is you staying totally focused on the people around you and spending quality time with your loved ones. This is really just a happy and positive way to view yourself as blessed and cherishing those around you. And while this card does depict people who are on the younger side of things, this doesn't by any means mean that older folks don't embody this energy as well. I have a lot of friends of all ages who are, old and young, that embody this particular type of energy. Yeah, so if this sounds familiar, group 4, this is definitely your reading. So you're in the right place. So just a happy and very positive way to see yourself. So that's about you. Let's get into how other people see you. And, we've got more cups. So this is the 10 of Cups. All right. So if we were 3 of Cups and thinking about blessings, you are triply blessed +1. People they don't only see you just as prioritizing the others around you, the people around you, but they also see you as somebody who's just content. They're happy in their community, happy at home, within all relationships in your life. And even if there are a few folks that you butt heads with, such as a snafu with a boss or co-parenting with a tricky ex, your friends and family always see the positive with you. And now that doesn't mean they're not going to call you out from time to time if you're spinning your wheels a bit. But overall, they see you as having these things together in the realm of joy and family and contentment. They enjoy your smiles, your successes, and because in turn, you spread that joy to everybody else. This is just harmony. This is very, very beautiful, group 4. Now, here's the thing. Even if you don't see this, others in your lives They see somebody who has this kind of domestic harmony, a general fulfillment. They see a peace inside of you, a contentment. And as I'm doing this, I don't know why I am seeing somebody spreading Nutella on toast. It's completely random. So, I don't know. They may see you as like, you're the Nutella on the toast, or you're something as good as that. So, that might mean something to some of you as like a little treasure or treat, but that's the way people see you. It's just kind of like this rich, having this rich deliciousness going on in their lives. Somebody who relishes what they have, they love themselves completely and can extend that loving grace outward towards others. Somebody who's reached a level of harmony that others wish that they could have, because not everybody can get there. That's kind of what a lot of us are striving for. This is you being able to lay down burdens and relax and just enjoy with what's going on in the moment. So you may have a beautiful family, or you're close to your family of origin, or perhaps you've built up your own family. So blood doesn't matter in this instance. You are close with humankind and are always looking out for others. And the people around you see this happy rainbow, and the treasure that the end of it is your open and your happy heart, group 4. So this is just an absolutely beautiful celebration. And very, very clear to me that you are very others oriented. People in your life are very, very important to you. So let's pop over into your emotional life. Let's see what we have here to celebrate. Okay, so this is interesting. We have the 9 of Swords here. So this is about mental energy and thoughts that can indicate anxiety, stress, worry, basically the thoughts that keep us up at night. And this is the realm of our air friends, such as Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Now, it may be that despite all of the beauty that you have around you within your family and friends and the other people in your life, you also have your share of mental burdens or concerns. Everyone is carrying some kind of stress with them. And while you may be open to others in a social sense, regarding some of these concerns, I think folks see you, when you're doing this, is you kind of blowing off steam. They're going to be supportive, but you still may have this tendency to brood in the privacy of your own home, your own bedroom. And some thoughts may even keep you up at night here. For as many friends as we're talking about here, I can't help but notice we've got 3 here, and triple that, we have 9. So more worries, perhaps. Yeah, and the appearance of this card, I really think what we need to look at here, the treasure here, is just that make sure you're completely opening up to others when you are feeling stressed out. And it doesn't have to be a huge group of friends, but maybe 1 or 2 of those buddies with whom you're particularly close that you feel are very good listeners and who are open to that and ready for that. And if you're considering seeing a therapist, this might be the time to do so to help you get into a better balance. The true blessing here is that you are blessed in your relationships with others, and that keeping things to yourself or isolating yourself is not the way to go if you are being plagued by events that happened in the past or working through issues that you're currently contending with. Just remember here, group 4, that you are not alone. Your guides are reminding you that you have a wealth of emotional support in your world. There may also be a push to seek out church friends or family for some of you, if this is something you're a part of. Yeah, the appearance of this card is that reminder that when we have these heavy burdens, others will be there for you to lean on. So group 4, I really feel like you do not have to look far. You have this beautiful support group right there by your side, and this is your card to remind you, tap into this. Okay, so let's look at blessings in your physical world. So we'll talk about what that means first. Okay, Knight of Swords. A lot of quick moving energy here. So the physical realm basically consists of your home, your possessions, worldly goods and assets, how you interact with them, how you see yourself in relationship to them. To me, it also has to do with your physical body and vessel, how comfortable you are in your own skin. But the overall idea of a physical realm, when I was thinking about this, for me, is just the understanding that you are a spiritual being that is having a physical experience here on earth and being grounded into that. How grounded are you? So the Knight of Swords is a representation, as a representation of your physical world, shows me somebody who is unafraid to take risks. So this doesn't surprise me given this outgoing nature that I see happening here. Even if you do keep some things to yourself here and there. This pile overall just has this kind of outgoing feeling to it. So you're somebody, I think, who takes the bull by the horns and you just ride it. This can mean you're unapologetic about what you want and have no problem going after the things that you need. You may be a bit headstrong, group 4 at times, or a little bit brash here and there, but I think you are also equally generous and considerate of those in your inner circle. That's important to remember. So you might be the first person to try out a new gym class or workout regime and you bring 50 of your closest friends with you, and you probably get a discount for all of them while you're there. I do see you as being fairly confident and comfortable in your physical experience. And although air signs are, again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this has kind of a sumptuous, like, Taurian energy to it. So you may like having nice things around you. You may strive to make your home really beautiful. Yeah, a nice place to be. And then you also work at making others comfortable when they come to visit you. I think you are an exceptional host or hostess, very generous of your time, and you just want everybody to have a nice time, I think. I think physicality is very important to you, the physical realm. So regardless of this being your physical space in your house, I think you have a way of bringing others into you. You draw them in, and you make your reality as much about them as it is about you, which is, I mean, the true marker of a generous heart. Okay. And then finally, let's take a look at the spiritual realm here. So, okay, we have the Knight of Cups here, group 4. And I think that our very first group also had the Knight of Cups. So again, if you felt that a little pull there, you might want to go check that out. So again, we have more of the watery energy here, the Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. A lot of water happening here. So we've got a balance kind of happening right now between the mental state and then just the emotional state as well. So with us in the Knight of Cups here in the spiritual realm for you in your spiritual world, you are likely very flexible and very open when it comes to spirituality or religion. You may or may not have a practice yourself, and if you do, it is likely with friends and other like-minded individuals. You may attend a church or a place of worship with your family or 1,000 of your closest friends. And I see you as somebody who can make introductions to others, and you're just very fluid in your interactions. And I think you really could fit in just about anywhere. Yeah, and folks are always going to find you charming, no matter where you go. Even if you don't, you go to like a space or an area where you don't know much, or it's a little bit different, or there are certain rules, and maybe you're not quite fitting into that, and people might look at you funny at first, but then you would be welcomed in with open arms. It doesn't matter. They're always going to be pulled in by you. So if you don't have a dedicated practice for spirituality or a place of worship, the Knight of Cups indicates that you are open to the idea, even if you're not thinking about it a lot. It's well, hey, I could go do that. I could easily see you being invited by a friend to attend a mass or a service or, whatever, and suddenly you're a member of that particular institution. And so because this is the Knight of Cups, we often think of this as like a romance card, but it doesn't need to mean that specifically. This can be platonic as well. You're likely somebody who does follow your heart, your whims, and you don't operate solely on logic. You're likely very empathetic. You have a willingness and an openness to relate to everybody you absolutely can. And you actually might leave some folks wanting a little more of a connection with you as you start like moving on and chatting with other people, other groups, or checking out other places of worship or just other metaphysical interests. And I think people miss you. They notice when you're gone. They miss your absence while you may have moved on to other people and places, and you maybe didn't realize your impact. And I don't think there's anything malicious about this. It's just a bit of like a heartbreaker energy in the most platonic sense. I do think you care about everyone, and that includes especially whoever is in front of you at the moment. You're very in the moment, group 4, and I think matters of the heart and connection are just more important to you. You value the emotional side of life, and you see everybody as equals. You know, we all have our own biases and things we were raised with, certain opinions and ideas. I feel like somehow you kind of like work around a lot of that, and you can just pull everyone into you. Even if people kind of look at you funny at first, again, you're kind of pulled in. And I see this as an extension, like with the Knight of Cups, just swimming. You're the fish that you're just going to swim on with the current. Where am I going next? And so I do see people kind of like standing on the shoreline going, oh, hey, there goes so-and-so. And, oh, you know, maybe I wanted to talk to them. And so you may go periods of time where you don't see people and you're kind of doing your thing. And then you're like, oh, I should talk to this person. And maybe they've been thinking about you a little bit more than, you know, they have crossed your mind. And again, I think that's just part of your nature, to give your full attention to whomever and whatever's in front of you. Yeah, and the Knight of Cups is also someone who is very in touch with their hearts, with their intuition. So you may be a little intuitive yourself, or you may have had some intuitive or psychic experiences. You might be excited about the idea, or at least very intrigued. I don't think that you'd linger too long on anything spooky or inexplicable. Again, you just go with the flow, but you might relay a story to a group of people, and then boom, you've moved on to the next thing. So I do think there's a curiosity about you, a willingness to try new things, an openness about you, which is very, very refreshing, group 4. Yeah, this is the energy of just being constantly refreshed and renewed. And so finally we have our outcome card. Our last little bit, our glittery finale, something that truly makes you shine, and it is the other duo. There's our fish we were talking about. And this is fish and chips. I think the first time I saw this, I was like, what is this orange sauce on top of those yellow blocks? But it took me a minute. Now I've got it. So I see this as Major Arcana, the Emperor. So fiery Aries energy. And I really was feeling fire energy for a lot of you, even though we're not seeing that over here. Of course, that doesn't mean that it's not there. I do feel many of you have this motor running, and your superpowers are kind of like in that. It charges you up, it keeps you ready for a good time, you know, that extrovert energy we're talking about. So again, to me, this is a little Aries, a little fiery, kind of going. And if we look at this as the Emperor, I think the beauty of this is fairly simple. I think you're very comfortable with who you are and how you operate in the world. I don't see you pretending to be anybody else. This is me. This is who I am. Here I am. Take it or leave it. And that works for you. And again, I don't see you fighting, going upstream. You're swimming downstream all the time. I think you're transparent about your strengths, and you're transparent about areas that need work. I actually hear you laughing about them, and that just makes everything shine a little bit more. People want to engage with somebody who's honest, who's human, who's interested in other people. And I think that you make all these things we talked about work. You know, your physicality, being grounded in this experience, you know, working with your emotions, your flexibility, and just your huge interest in other people. It all works for you. You know how to work your gifts, group 4, which I think in turn benefits all those around you. And I do feel you truly shine like the Emperor's crown. You know, like the way that fish pairs so nicely with chips. So keep doing what you're doing, group 4. You're making it work. I'm going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, or you found it entertaining or beneficial, please consider hitting the like button. Let me know what really resonated for you in the comment box below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out my other pick a card readings, and consider subscribing to my channel if that's your thing. Be sure to hit the bell so you're notified when my new videos are released. It was a pleasure working with you, group 4. You've got a fun energy, and I look forward to collaborating with you again in the near future. I'll see you soon. Bye.